Epic Originals presents Nellie Nutgraf, the double best reporter in history in A Hot Story, Part 1, by Tom Angleberger. Performed by Ramone Deo Campo. Finally, the town council members came in and set up a folding table under one of the basketball hoops, and the meeting got started. We've called this meeting to discuss our plans, to discuss holding a meeting for planning a discussion about meeting to make plans, said the gym teacher, who was also the mayor. Please limit your comments to half an hour each. Then everybody took turns, talking and yammering and blathering and wheezing and whining and complaining and boasting, and Nellie fell asleep. She woke up when the mayor banged a gavel and said, "Meeting adjourned." Everybody left. Nellie looked down at her notebook. It was completely blank. The taxi had already left because the horse had a hot date back in the city, so Nellie had to walk all the way back to the office. While she walked, she thought about how badly she had blown it. It was morning by the time she got back to the office. In fact, now she was late for work on top of everything else. Door and went in. It was already there. She wondered what she should apologize for first. Either way, she knew that Brian the editor would fire her. She would never become the double best reporter in history. Unless, she thought hopefully, something else happened that's so big that they've forgotten all about my story. Like, maybe a volcano is about to explode. I can't talk now, Nellie, said Brian the editor. I'm on the phone with President Hoover. He says there's a volcano about to explode. Volcano, sir? Brian the editor asked President Hoover. Where? Mount McMadge? Right under little bitty Unimportantville? Brian the editor wanted to give the volcano story to Hotshot Terbletsky. Hotshot Terbletsky does all the biggest stories, he said. This is an outrage, said Nellie. Little bitty Unimportantville is my beat. That means whatever happens there is my story. I guess you're right, said Brian the editor. Hotshot Terbletsky cried like a baby. You better hurry, said Brian the editor. I am hurrying, said Nellie. Remember, it's spelled Volcano. Yup, said Nellie, carrying her typewriter out the door. And most importantly, said Brian the editor, be careful. Sure, said Nellie, as she waved down a taxi. Remain a safe distance from the volcano at all times, called Brian the editor. But Nellie didn't hear him. She was in the taxi and speeding toward the smoking, rumbling, lava-packed volcano. To be continued. Extra, 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 extra. Nellie Nutgraf is, of course, not a real person, but she's partially inspired by one. Nellie Bly was a courageous journalist in the late 1800s who traveled around the world as a reporter and set a speed record doing it. And Investigative Journalism for Kids by Ellen Mahoney. Porter's Use